It was my baby's first Christmas, a day I had dreamed about for so long. The house was filled with warm lights, the fresh smell of our Christmas tree, and soft holiday music. My husband and I had worked hard to make it perfect. But my sister ruined it. She had always been selfish, always thinking the world owed her something. Growing up, she would take my things, throw tantrums when she didn't get her way, and manipulate people to do what she wanted. But this was a new low, even for her. After dinner, everyone was gathered in the living room. I was holding my baby, rocking him gently, soaking in the moment. Then, my sister stood up and cleared her throat dramatically. "I have something to say," she announced, flipping her hair like she was about to make a big, important speech. I already had a bad feeling. Then she said it. "I deserve to be the mother more than you." The room went silent. My mom gasped. My dad nearly choked on his coffee. My husband's whole body tensed beside me. I should have been shocked. I should have been angry. But instead, I smirked. "That's funny," I said calmly, "because I already knew you'd say that." She looked confused. "What?" I pulled out my phone and showed her. Her face turned pale. Right there, in front of everyone, were months of messages, texts, emails, and voicemails, proof of everything she had said to me. The messages where she claimed I stole motherhood from her, where she told me I didn't deserve my baby, where she said I should give him up. I tilted my phone so the whole family could see. My mom covered her mouth in shock. My dad's face darkened. My husband's jaw tightened. My sister's face turned red with anger. "That's not the whole story," she shouted. "You're twisting things." I laughed, a cold, bitter laugh. "Oh, really? Then how about this?" I pressed play on a voicemail. Her own voice filled the room. "You don't deserve him. You don't even know what you're doing. He would be better off with me. You're weak. You're pathetic. I swear, one day, he'll be mine." The room went ice cold. My mother looked horrified. My father clenched his fists. My husband let out a slow, deep breath. And my sister? She knew she had just lost. My sister looked like she wanted to disappear. That's not what I meant," she stammered. "I was just upset. You always got everything. Mom and Dad always favored you, and now you get to be a mother too while I have nothing." There it was, the real reason behind all of this. It was never about my baby. It was about her jealousy, her need for attention, and her belief that she should get whatever she wanted. Maybe, a long time ago, I would have felt sorry for her. But not after everything she put me through, not after all the cruel words, the guilt trips, and the way she tried to make me doubt myself as a mother. "Let me get this straight," I said sharply. "You think you should be my son's mother just because you're jealous?" Her face turned red. "That's not what I said." "It's exactly what you said," I replied, "and it's exactly what you meant." She turned to our parents, desperate now. "Mom, Dad, tell her she's being ridiculous. Tell her." "Stop." My dad's voice was firm, cutting through the room. Everything went silent. He looked at my sister like she was a stranger. "I can't believe what I just heard," he said. "You've been saying these things behind our backs? You've been trying to take your own sister's baby?" "I wasn't trying to take him," she snapped. "I was just—" "Enough," my mom said. Her voice shook, but she meant it. "You need to leave." My sister's eyes widened. "What?" "You heard me," my mom said. "Get your things and go, now." My sister looked like she was about to explode. But I wasn't finished. "Oh, and before you go," I said sweetly, "you should know something else." She glared at me. "What?" I smiled. "Your boss is going to get an email from me tomorrow." Her whole body went stiff. She worked at a daycare, and some of those awful messages? She had sent them from her work email. Yeah, she was about to learn a very hard lesson. I saw the moment it hit her, her eyes went wide, and she gasped. "No," she whispered, "you wouldn't." I tilted my head. "Wouldn't I?" She knew the answer. For the first time that night, she had nothing to say, and I wasn't even close to being finished. Her face went pale as she realized what was about to happen. "You can't do that," she choked out. I raised an eyebrow. "Why not?" She looked around the room, searching for help, but no one moved. My parents sat frozen in shock. My husband stood beside me, tense, with his hand on my back. My baby stirred slightly in my arms, unaware of the storm around him. She swallowed hard. "If you do that, I'll lose my job." I tilted my head. "Oh, you mean the job where you take care of other people's children? The same job where you sent me these messages, calling me a bad mother and saying my son would be better off with you?" I scrolled through my phone and held it up again. "Because I'm pretty sure your boss would love to know that one of their employees thinks she's entitled to steal a baby." Her hands curled into fists. "You're overreacting." My dad scoffed. "Are you serious right now?" She turned to him, panicking. "Dad, come on, This is nothing, just a few messages. She's trying to ruin my life over a stupid argument. My mom shook her head. You threatened your sister's child. That's not just an argument, you bullied her for months. Her lips trembled. I didn't mean it. I let out a sharp laugh. Oh really? Because it sure seemed like you did. She opened her mouth but said nothing. Then, suddenly, she changed her approach. Her shoulders slumped, and she blinked back fake tears. I'm just so alone, she whimpered. It's hard watching you have this perfect family while I have nothing. Oh, cut the act, I snapped. You were fine tormenting me when you thought I wouldn't fight back. Now that you're finally facing consequences, you want pity? No chance. The tears vanished instantly, her face twisted in anger. You're such a... She stopped when my husband, who had been quiet until now, chuckled darkly. And yet, he said, she's the one holding her baby while you try to convince everyone that you should be the mother instead. That shut her up. But before she could throw another tantrum, there was a loud knock at the door. Everyone turned. We weren't expecting anyone. It was Christmas Eve. Who could it be? My dad, still tense, went to open the door. The second he did, my sister froze. Because standing there in the dim glow of the porch light was a police officer. My breath caught, my husband straightened, my mother gasped. But my sister, her whole body went stiff, her eyes went huge. The officer scanned the room before focusing on her. Miss, sister's last name? She didn't answer. Are you, sister's full name? He asked again, his voice firm. Still, she said nothing, but her silence was answer enough. I need you to come with me, he said, stepping inside. We have some questions for you. I had no idea what was happening. I had planned to expose her, yes, but I hadn't called the police. So what was this about? Wait, she stammered, backing up. What is this about? The officer pulled out a small notepad. There was an incident reported a few nights ago at your workplace. My stomach dropped. Oh. My sister worked at a daycare. And now the cops were here, asking about an incident. Her hands flew up. I didn't do anything. This is crazy. I don't even know what you're talking about. The officer sighed. We received a report about possible negligence involving a child in your care. The whole room fell silent. My mom gasped. My dad's face turned red. My husband grabbed my hand, his grip tight. And my sister, she snapped. That's a lie, she shrieked. Who said that? It's not true. The officer stayed calm. The child's parents came forward. They said their son came home with unexplained bruises and was left alone in a crib for hours. There were also emails sent from your work account that, he paused before finishing, suggested a personal grudge against certain parents. I felt my stomach drop. This wasn't just about me anymore. This was something much worse. And my sister knew it too, because now she wasn't just trying to save her reputation. She was trying to stay out of jail. She stood there, her mouth opening and closing like a fish gasping for air. The officer's words hung in the air, heavier than the Christmas decorations on the mantel. Negligence. A child left alone. Bruises. For a moment, no one moved, no one spoke. Then, chaos. My mom stumbled backward, gripping the couch like she might collapse. Oh my God, she whispered. Oh my God. My dad's hands clenched into fists. His jaw was so tight I thought his teeth might crack. Tell me this isn't true, he said, his voice dangerously low. But my sister, she panicked. No, she screamed, shaking her head. This is a setup. Someone is trying to ruin my life. I don't know why this is happening, but it's not true. You have to believe me. The officer didn't react. Miss, we'll discuss this at the station. Please come with me. That's when she lost it. She spun toward me, her eyes wild. You, she spat, pointing a shaking finger. You did this. You're trying to destroy me. I flinched as she lunged forward, but my husband stepped in front of me, blocking her. Back off. His voice was ice cold. She was breathing hard, her whole body shaking with rage. You think you're so perfect, she hissed. You think you're better than me, but guess what? You stole everything from me. You stole Mom and Dad's love. You stole every opportunity, and now you have him. She pointed wildly at my baby, who stirred but didn't wake. You don't deserve him. I held my son closer, my heart pounding. You're delusional. She laughed, a bitter, humorless laugh. Oh, am I? She sneered. Because, it's really funny. Her voice dropped, turning cold. I almost got him. A chill ran through me. My husband's grip tightened around my waist. What the hell does that mean? She smirked. I was so close. If you hadn't been so paranoid, so suspicious. I cut her off. Explain. She shrugged. Her voice eerily casual. Simple. I was going to call CPS, she said with a smirk. Tell them you were a bad mother, that you were unstable, maybe send in a few fake reports over a few months. Eventually, they would have started investigating, and when they did, I'd offer to help. Her grin widened, and after a while, I'd just become his mom. I couldn't breathe. My mom let out a broken sob. My dad looked like he wanted to hit her. My husband, his hands were clenched into fists, his whole body shaking with rage. His voice was tight with fury. You were trying to. He stopped himself, breathing hard. Jesus Christ, you're insane. Her smile faltered. Just a little, it would have worked. No, I said, my voice sharp, it wouldn't have. She scowled. And why not? I reached into my pocket and pulled out a folded paper. She froze. What's that? She demanded. I unfolded it slowly, locking eyes with her. The adoption papers I filed before he was even born. Her mouth dropped open. What? I held the paper up for everyone to see. See, CPS checks things like this. They don't just take kids away without proof. And if they had looked into me, they would have seen that my husband and I made everything legal before my son was even born. I smiled, but it was ice cold. There was never a chance you could take him. Her breath hitched. I took a step closer. But you just admitted your whole plan, in front of a cop. The realization hit her like a brick. Her whole body went stiff. Her eyes darted toward the officer still standing by the door. He sighed, pulling out a pair of handcuffs. I was just here to ask questions, he muttered. But yeah, you just made this a lot easier. Panic filled her face. Wait, no, I didn't mean it. I was just, Miss, sister's last name, the officer said, stepping forward. You're under arrest. She screamed. But no one helped her, no one defended her, no one saved her. The officer grabbed her arms and locked the cuffs in place. She thrashed, wild and desperate. No, Mom, Dad, do something. My mother was crying. My father turned away, unable to look at her. And me? I just rocked my son gently, pressing a kiss to his soft little head. She was still screaming when they dragged her out the door. When it slammed shut behind her, the room fell silent. I let out a shaky breath. My husband pulled me close, resting his forehead against mine. It's over, he whispered. I nodded, but I didn't feel relief, not exactly. I felt finality. There was no coming back from this, no fixing it, no sister left to hold on to. But I had protected my son. And that was all that mattered. A few weeks later, we learned more about what happened with my sister at the daycare. She had been getting worse, snapping at parents, ignoring the kids. One parent put a hidden camera in their baby's bag and caught her yelling at a crying child to shut up before leaving them alone for hours. She was fired immediately. And with charges for neglect, attempted fraud, and whatever else the prosecutors added, she wasn't getting out of this anytime soon. I never visited her in jail. She sent letters, first begging, then blaming, then full of anger. I never wrote back. Yes, my family was broken. But in some ways, it had been broken long before that night. All I could do now was move forward. And hold my son a little tighter every day.